The Fitterist Show with your host, Christopher Allen, where we explore the art of mind and body conditioning. With the current happenings in the world, including the closing of most gyms and workout facilities, home fitness is thrust into the forefront. In the past episodes, we've looked at Peloton, Mirror, and Tonal home fitness and workout systems and solutions. While none of these can replace the breadth and variety of the plethora of resistance, free weights, dumbbells, and cardio equipment of a gym, these home fitness solutions can help fill the gap. In today's episode, we examine another new entrant into the connected home fitness arena, and that is Tempo. Tempo employs motion capture technology and artificial intelligence to help ensure that your form on each exercise is correct. In theory, thus maximizing your results and minimizing any injuries. So, let's dive in. There's clearly been a recent boom in tech-enabled at-home fitness machines that simulate working out with a trainer or an instructor, and sometimes a class settings or a whole group. The best known example is, of course, Peloton, and one of the newest entrants is a company called Tempo. Unlike the Peloton bike, Tempo is actually a piece of furniture. It's not really a fitness machine. It's an armoire, if you will. It's got 4 legs. It's a cabinet. It has a 42-inch touchscreen. But it also has 3D sensors that watch your form and count your reps, providing insight on how you can improve as you go. But Tempo is also a place where the guidance of a personal trainer meets the energy of a group fitness class. So the Tempo solution stands at roughly 6 feet tall. It's a cabinet again. It's a piece of equipment and associated service plans to use artificial intelligence to help coach a client's form by analyzing its movement roughly 30 times per second. Now this could be huge for those that want to use free weight workouts at home without the hassle of trekking to the gym and necessarily finding a trainer. So what is the Tempo Home Gym? Well, again, the Tempo is an AI home gym that provides real-time feedback on your form and execution of the movement for a number of free weight movements. There's also classes and workouts you can perform under your own power and analyze your form by scanning the body roughly 30 times a second and getting instant feedback from the Tempo screen. Tempo is actually shaped like a wardrobe with a large touchscreen mounted in the middle. It's roughly a 3-foot square footprint at the bottom. It's about 6 feet tall, a little over 2 feet wide, and only 1 foot 4 inches deep. It weighs about 110 pounds, and the touchscreen is high definition 42-inch HD and is mounted in portrait mode directly into the Tempo system. Also, there are storage racks behind the wardrobe and below the screen to hold things like barbells, weighted plates, foam roller, heart rate monitor, and a workout mat. And all of those actually come with the Tempo system as part of the starter kit. So what you actually get with the Tempo, including barbells, plates, foam roller, is the following. You get 2 7.5-pound dumbbells, 1 25-pound barbell. You have 6 collars so you can attach different plates to the barbell. 4 10-pound plates, 4 5-pound plates, 4 2.5-pound plates, 4 1.25-pound plates, 1 heart rate monitor, 1 workout mat, and 1 foam roller. So it's really not too bad. But it does only add up in total to about 110 pounds. So if you're going over that, which we'll talk about later in the show, what you'll need to do to improvise as you start to get up to more serious weights. So how does Tempo work? Well, in order to track your form to ensure that you're exercising correctly, it has a built-in camera, built-in microphone, and it uses this Microsoft technology called the Azure Connect camera to watch the user's form and it basically maps dots to plot the user's movements, locating their actual muscles and joints to ensure each lift, squat, slide, curl, whatever, is done properly. These items are not always on, so you don't have to have the built-in camera and microphone on, but obviously, to get that level of form feedback, you're absolutely going to need the camera to be turned on. Now, the camera is also used to monitor the form over the joints and it keeps your face anonymous. So it's not like you're broadcasting yourself working out and all the lovely faces that people make when you actually work out to the entire internet. It will see where your muscles and joints move during each exercise to help you and giving you feedback, giving you advice for the next time you perform the exercise. And it does this in a kind of an intelligent way. It gives you pretty much instantaneous feedback if your form is wrong on a certain exercise. And as soon as you perform that exercise correctly, it kind of gives you a green check to say, hey, you had a red X where you were doing this improperly, like on a squat, you might be leaning too far forward, or you might be arching your back too much on curls. So it gives you, once you've performed it correctly, it gives you a little green check mark. And at the end of the routine, you can receive even more feedback about more changes that might need to be made. There's also tutorials provided that specifically go over proper form for each exercise to maximize, again, the time under tension for each muscle and the proper form associated with the movement. If you opt to take a live class, the Tempo fitness classes are actually done live with the trainers. So it's personalized to you. The trainer can actually see your performance, your exercise, how quickly you're performing, how correct you are on the form, and the classes in general, not too repetitive or monotonous because they have the live coaching and the feedback from the broad class. So an instructor can actually see real time that X percent, let's say 30% of the people are having problems or doing something incorrectly. The instructor, he or she, can then take some time to actually emphasize the key points, whether it's, hey, don't arch your back here, hey, don't bend below parallel here, and give feedback to the broader group as well as an individual. So Tempo is not focused as much on sets and reps as many other exercise routines might be. They're more focused on ensuring that the form is correct. Because once you get the form correct, you can gradually build up the weight, the endurance, and the strength. They have suggestions on weights and reps to ensure you're working on muscle strength and definition. And when you first sign up for a Tempo account, they call it a strength test. It's not really a raw strength test, though. It's more around form of the different exercises. So a little bit about the company history, the background. So back in 2015, the CEO of Tempo started a company called Pivot, and they built this technology called SmartSpot. And it's a similar looking upright screen that was designed primarily for gyms. So the theory was, let's look at users and output the raw data about their form with the intent of helping trainers in the gym identify problem areas and work with those individuals to get the proper form. So they would look at things like how bent a user's knees were during a squat, and then it would summarize that information, give it back to the trainers to determine what movement patterns were safe and educate them on which ones might be dangerous so they could feed that back to their clients. Now, gym owners liked this because it let them actually track which trainers were helping customers improve. So it kind of held the trainers in the gym accountable to both the gym and thus their clients. So if you weren't really delivering results, it'd be obvious because the gym owner would see that all these people are doing gym exercises incorrectly, and he could segment that by trainer and say, hey, you're gone. And the company thus built up a data set from over 1 million tagged workouts using this 3D technology from hundreds of different gyms overseen by thousands of different trainers and ultimate clients. So that data set and data drives all of the artificial intelligence and machine learning in the Tempo system. That data formed the basis for that artificial intelligence system that would ultimately move from the Pivot company into the new company called Tempo. The Tempo company funding, as you know, I love to understand about the funding as well for the different entrepreneurs. The Tempo team landed an initial $1.8 million seed funding round, and they made that last for 4 years. That is pretty impressive in any startup. So they built this technology using the SmartSpot AI data collection, and they were able to survive long enough to have basically two assets. They had a data set of those million people working out and form correction, artificial intelligence, and then they had the prototype of the Tempo system, including the software and the hardware. But once they had a prototype of the Tempo system and they built one, and they still had over $500,000 left, which is, again, amazing cash and money management for a startup. But once they had the Tempo prototype built, they pitched about 10 investors and they had 9 term sheets. So it was pretty competitive. So they ended up walking away and getting $17.5 million Series A funding round from Founders Fund, DCM, and Coastal Ventures. And Tempo is going to use that cash to ramp up marketing, retail distribution, R&D, content production across what is still only a 14-member startup team. So a really good entrepreneurial success story so far. Now, they haven't fully launched, but so far they're doing pretty good. So what's Tempo's key differentiator? In my view, Tempo's got a home gym that utilizes smart technology to capture if you're doing exercises using the appropriate form. And the company really does believe that form is more essential than the number of reps or even the amount of weight being used. It's able to track your form when you're working out via computer vision technology. And clearly, smart fitness equipment is becoming more and more popular. But Tempo is really the first company and brand to focus really on performing exercises and fitness routines correctly. Not fastest, not most weight, but correctly, which is one of the more challenging problems. It's relatively easy to just say, did you finish? Yes or no? Great, you did it faster than you did last time, you're improving. That's not necessarily true. So Tempo, they utilize, again, that Microsoft Azure Connect built-in technology to ensure you're using proper form when you're working out and detailing each specific exercise. So on the back end, they've got all these different exercises mapped out. And on Tempo's touchscreen, there are many different features that users can use in classes that you can follow. But the motion camera and the motion capture technology, that is the secret sauce. It puts out infrared light 30 times a second to generate a 3D model of your body made up of about 80,000 individual points. This allows it to look at 25 of your body's joints so it can evaluate your movement and give you real-time feedback. That's something different, and no one that I know of, or I'm aware of, has really focused on that to date. And hearkening, again, from their roots, one of the main premise behind the Tempo system is they really want to democratize trainers, because not everybody can afford multiple sessions with a trainer on top of their gym membership. The Tempo really wants to offer a means to work out in real time with trainers in a class setting, or obviously you can turn that off and just simply work out on your own, still getting that machine learning intelligent feedback on your form. So the system walks you through an initial computer vision fitness assessment to understand your strength, flexibility, so you can kind of set some base levels for some of the exercises. And it maps out a plan based on your goals and data to set out a progressive regimen that gets you a little closer to your goal each day and increases the difficulty slowly over time. While it could prove challenging when you work your way up to lifting heavier weights, where in this case, you'll have to purchase those weights and use it with the existing Tempo barbell, because the weights they have only roughly 100 pounds. I know it sounds like a lot, but in some cases, squats, deadlifts, you may want to go higher. So you'd have to purchase those weights, but they should be compatible with the Tempo barbell. You should be able to just add those weights on and continue your workout. But one of the key things is that a lot of injuries occur by people trying to use too much weight without proper form. And that's something that tempo, I think, can help prevent. You can always have a great workout with lighter weights in true proper form. Slowly build the weight up, continuing to make sure that you're using proper form even as you move to heavier weights. That's a smart way to do it. How much does tempo cost? It's always the big question. Tempo is set to retail at $1,995 and also requires a $39 monthly content subscription. Tempo is currently producing about 7 live classes every couple of days from its San Francisco studio, where you can also watch on demand. You can compete against friends or strangers, and Tempo compares you, so it's got kind of that Peloton social comparison competition component. And Tempo compares you rep for rep, so it's about more perfect form than, again, speed or weight. And the live trainers, when you sign up for a live class and take a live class, they can actually see all of your data. They can see all of your mistakes on a dashboard as they lead classes, and they could, call you out and say like, hey, Joe's got 57% correct form on this exercise. He needs to do a little better. And you could also deactivate that to turn that off if you're conscious or nervous about that. But knowing that the trainer can see your numbers and your form can actually motivate you to do the exercises properly. So when you compare the cost of Tempo, and again, I'll do a quick summary and I'll post it on the show notes at www.fitterist.com/53 for episode 53. I'll show a quick comparison chart of Peloton, Mirror, Tonal, and Tempo. What I kind of did is just total first year cost. And note that those numbers do not include tax. So first year total cost for Tempo, initial equipment $1995, the monthly subscription times 12 months, $468, delivery and installation fee. They're a little nebulous on that. I'm assuming I just put in a placeholder $150. So first year total all-in cost for Tempo, $2,613. So again, not something to be taken lightly, but when you compare it, Mirror, first year all-in cost $2,213, Peloton $2,838, and Tonal $4,328 if you go all in and buy their accessory kit. So I'll post that on the website. It's also important to know that as of right now, Tempo and their website states that they will be shipping product in the summer of 2020. So they're reserving spots. I think there's a $250 quote reservation fee that's obviously applied to the balance of your purchase. And you could check it out and get delivery as early as this summer. So in summary, Tempo is unique and it's a little simpler than a lot of its competitors, even though it has this bare bones home gym setup kind of vibe, because it includes a few dumbbells and a barbell. But it's something that we're also kind of familiar with. It looks pretty nice. It's very organized. Bars hang neatly on the back side of the cabinet, so they're kind of tucked away. It's not this crazy, huge apparatus sitting in the middle of a room. And the weights and everything, towels, foam roller, stored neatly inside. So it's well designed. The classes are nice. There's, of course, a social leaderboard where points are awarded for reps, and you actually can get penalized and have points taken away for bad form. You can compete against friends. You can compete against strangers, the wider and broader Tempo community. Or you can just set it to private and work out at home on your own. And when you compare what you might spend with a gym membership, in addition to personal training sessions, Tempo does have a good argument for making health and weight training more convenient in the comfort of your home, that allows extensions out to a broader base, whether that's friends or strangers across the internet. And it does probably save you time. But the technology embedded in Tempo, with its form detection and error correction, I think is unique. and makes tempo something you might want to consider. Until next week, we'll see you then. With that, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to listen to The Fitterist Show. You can follow us on Instagram at FitteristMindBody and on Twitter at FitteristMind. If you enjoyed this episode, please send it to a friend or subscribe to make sure you don't miss any future episodes of The Fitterist Show. My name is Christopher Allen, and make it a magical day.